Hello children, welcome back. This is Mousumi Chakraborty and today I would like to continue with the discussion on the topic directing. The initial topic for discussion for today will be communication part 5. If you have not gone through my previous video, go to my channel and watch it. So, what is communication? Basically, the word communication has originated from a Latin word communis, which means something common. Communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, feelings, and emotions through speech, signals, writings, or behavior. In communication process, a sender encodes a message and then using a medium and send it to appropriate feedback using a medium. Communication is basically an exchange of opinion, information between two or more persons for common understanding. Communication may be either formal or informal in nature. Process of communication. For completing the process of communication, it basically includes the following thing, that is sender and message, that is encoding from message to a channel to the receiver to the feedback, that is decoding, and decoding to the channel. In between, the noises and are the basic barriers of communication. Moving on to the communication process, which include a sender who have an idea, encoding of message, communicates the channel, that is the message, decoding of the message to the final receiver, and from the receiver returning back to the feedback. Elements of communication. Sender. The person who conveys the message is known as communicator or sender. By initiating the message, the communicator attempts to achieve understanding and change in the behavior of the receiver. Next, message. It is the subject matter of a communication. It may involve any fact, opinion, or information. It must exist in the mind of the communicator if communication process is to be initiated. Third, encoding. The sender of the information organizes his ideas into a series of symbols which he feels will communicate to the intended receiver or receivers. This is called encoding of message. Fourth, communication medium, that is media. The communicator has to choose the channel for sending the information. The communication channels are the medium through which the message passes. It may be either formal or informal. Next, receiver. The person who received the message is called the receiver, and the communication process is incomplete without the existence of a receiver of the message. Next, decoding. It is the receiver who receives and understands the message. This is called decoding of messaging. Next, feedback. Communication is complete when the communicator receives feedback information from the receiver. The feedback may reveal that the receiver has understood the message. It may also contain information about the action taken by the receiver on the basis of message taken by the communicator. Last, noise. It is a very common thing we observe in our day-to-day interaction with others. Times it affects adversely the effectiveness of communication. For example, if a person is talking over the phone, there is a noise around him, he will feel great difficulty in listening to the person at the other end. Even the noise can affect the voice of the sender of the message. Types of channels of communication. A channel of communication is basically a path through which the information is transmitted throughout the organization, which may be basically classified into formal communication and informal communication. When we talk about formal communication, it is the path of communication which institutionally determined by the organization are called formal channel of communication. It associates with the status or position, derives supports from the scalar chain of the organization, generally adopt three directions, that is upward, downward, and horizontal form of communication. Formal communication network basically include first, chain network. Chain network, the message flows in the direct vertical line along the scalar chain of the command. It can flow from top to bottom or from bottom to top in a line. Thus, the flow of communication takes place through the formal channel, say from the superior to the subordinate or vice versa. There is no horizontal communication in the chain network. Second, wheel network. A wheel network represents the communication pattern under which the subordinate can communicate with the through the manager. It is called wheel network since all communication passes through the manager, who act as the central authority like the hub of a wheel. Next, free flow. Free flow. Under such a network, there is no restriction on the flow of communication. Everyone is free to communicate with anyone or everyone in the organization. This network is informal and unstructured, and so it is allowed a free flow of communication. Moving on to the circular flow. When we talk about the circular flow, in case the message moves in a circle, each person can communicate with his two neighborhood colleagues only as depicted in the figure. The main disadvantage of it is that the communication is very slow. And last one is inverted V. In this network, a subordinate is allowed to communicate with his immediate superior as well as the superior of his superiors, as shown in the figure. However, in the later cases, only prescribed communication takes place. The next part of the chapter shall be continued in my next video. Stay tuned. Thank you. Have a nice day.